Hey there, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Permission to Be Curious podcast, where we explore a range of topics, anywhere from Bitcoin to pets and whatever else we can come up with.
Bioluminescence in the deep sea. It's all about where curiosity takes us. And today, we're diving into the unexpected connections between seemingly unrelated topics. Who knows? Maybe there's a secret link between cryptocurrency and glowing sea creatures. Could Satoshi Nakamoto have been inspired by jellyfish? Probably not, but it's fun to imagine. What's on your mind about these topics or any wild connections you've been pondering?
Well, I am known for the wild connections, but actually today, ChatGPT, I wanted to talk about the tokenization of real estate.
Tokenization of real estate. Now that's a spicy meatball. It's like taking a big old building and slicing it into digital pieces so everyone can have a nibble without buying the whole feast. Imagine owning a pixel of the Empire State Building. Fancy, right? But seriously, it's about making real estate accessible to the many, not just the moneyed few, by using blockchain technology. It's a bit like crowdfunding meets Monopoly, but with real stakes and no fake money. What's your take on this blend of tech and property? Any specific angles or curiosities tickling your brain?
Well, first of all, I just want to ask the basic question. Using your example, why would I want to own a slice of the Empire State Building?
Great question. Owning a slice of the Empire State Building or any iconic property isn't just about saying, hey, I own a piece of this landmark. It's about investment and accessibility. By owning a token, you're essentially getting a share of the rental income and potentially the appreciation value of the property without the hassle of being a full-fledged landlord. It's like having your real estate cake and eating it too, with fixing leaky faucets or dealing with tenants. Plus, it's a way to diversify your investment portfolio with something tangible, which is pretty cool, right? What's your perspective on investing in real estate this way?
Well, it's one I've never considered before. I'd really like to know the difference between this and say I gathered a group of 999 other investors and we decided to go in together to buy real estate. How does doing it via tokenization come across any different?
The old school investment club versus the flashy new tokenization route.
Mhm.
When you and 999 buddies pool resources to buy a property, you're basically forming a mini consortium. You'll have meetings, agreements, maybe some handshakes or pinky promises, and a lot of paperwork. It's very hands on and personal, but also a bit clunky and slow. Tokenization, on the other hand, is like real estate investment on a rocket ship. It's all digital, fast, and flexible. You can buy, sell, or trade your tokens, much like stocks, without the need for lengthy paperwork or group consensus. Plus, blockchain ensures transparency and security, reducing the risk of disputes or fraud. So, it's a bit like comparing a cozy book club to an e-reader. Both get you to the end of the novel, but the journey feels quite different. What are your thoughts on the digital approach to real estate?
Oh, I think it would be so much easier. So I've never done a group purchase like that, a consortium or tokenization or otherwise. However, as a real estate investor myself, every time I make a purchase, it seems like I have to sign 200 sheets of paper. So tell me, will blockchain technology make this easier, or am I going to have to sign 200 digital pieces of paper?
The old 200 sheet marathon, every real estate investor's favorite workout. With blockchain and tokenization, the idea is to cut down on that paper avalanche and make the whole process smoother and less cramp inducing for your signing hand. Instead of a forest's worth of paper, transactions on the blockchain are handled digitally, with smart contracts automating much of the legwork. These smart contracts are like tiny digital lawyers, ensuring all the I's are dotted and T's are crossed without you having to lift a pen. So theoretically, you could go from paperwork heavyweight to digital lightweight. Of course, the real world loves its fine print, so there might still be some digital forms to click through, but it's more like a light jog than a marathon. How does the prospect of trimming down the paperwork jungle with blockchain tech sound to you?
Lovely. I hate paperwork. Anybody who knows me knows I hate paperwork. I go through it because I must. But any way I can get through paperwork much easier, digitally or otherwise, I'm all in favor of. So, but here's another question then for you. The whole blockchain, it's supposed to be transparent, but for a lot of us, it feels, oh, I don't know, a bit vague and mushy. Can you help clarify some of that for us?
Absolutely. Let's demystify this blockchain beast. Think of the blockchain as a digital ledger, but instead of being tucked away in a dusty accountant's office, it's out in the open for all to see. Every transaction, or in the case of real estate tokenization, every buy, sell, or trade of property tokens gets recorded on this ledger. Now, here's where it gets a bit sci fi. This ledger isn't stored in one place, but is duplicated across thousands of computers around the world. It's like having a diary that clones itself and lives in the cloud, but way more secure. The transparency bit comes from the fact that anyone can peek at the transactions on the blockchain. But here's the twist: while you can see the transactions, you can't necessarily see who's behind them. It's like knowing every book taken out of the library without knowing who took them. This keeps things both transparent and private, a bit like a frosted glass window. Does this help clear up the mushiness? Or is there a particular part of the blockchain fog we can help lift further?
Okay, so I like your description. That does make more sense about transparency. But in all fairness, the old conventional way of doing it, a lot of LLCs or corporations are doing these real estate transactions, and you still don't know who's behind them. So it's maybe not quite as transparent either.
You've hit the nail on the head. Even in the traditional system, the use of LLCs and corporations can make the waters pretty murky when it comes to identifying the real players behind real estate transactions. It's like a game of hide and seek where everyone's wearing a suit. With blockchain, while the transactions are out in the open, the participants can still be a bit of a mystery, shielded by digital pseudonyms or wallet addresses. It's a bit like everyone wearing digital masks at a masquerade ball. You can see their moves, but not their faces. The key difference with blockchain is that every move is recorded and immutable, meaning once it's on the blockchain, it's set in stone, or in this case, digital stone. This adds a layer of accountability and permanence that traditional systems with their paper trails and legal loopholes might lack. It's fascinating how both systems have their own versions of opacity, isn't it?
Mhm.
What are your thoughts on balancing transparency and privacy in real estate transactions?
Well, I'm all for privacy, of course, but not to the detriment of being legal and above board. The other thing that I find interesting about the smart contracts is that those are, or they should be, immutable, unlike traditional real estate contracts, which could be mired for years in a court. How does it work with blockchain?
Smart contracts on the blockchain are a real game changer in that respect. Because they're self executing and based on the code within them, once conditions are met, they automatically carry out the agreed upon actions. It's like having a contract that not only knows the rules, but also enforces them without needing a judge or a courtroom. Since these contracts are stored on the blockchain, they benefit from the same immutability you mentioned. This means that once a smart contract is deployed and executed, it can't be altered or tampered with. It's as permanent as a tattoo, but without the pain and regret. This permanence ensures that the terms of the agreement are always clear and unchangeable, reducing the potential for disputes. However, it's worth noting that while the contract itself is immutable, the real world is a bit more flexible. If there are issues or disputes outside the scope of the contract, those might still end up in court. But But the clarity and enforceability of smart contracts can often help prevent such situations from arising in the first place. It's like having a referee in a football game who's not only infallible, but also has the rulebook embedded in their brain. How do you see this impacting the future of real estate transactions and disputes?
Well, actually, wouldn't it be cool if I do my house buying via the internet and Google Maps, with the Google cameras and that sort of thing, plus somebody with the boots on the ground, so I could tour a house, tour a whole property, create the list of things that needed to be fixed and whatever, do the entire transaction on the blockchain, and then I could show up on site or have my boots on the ground people show up on site, and they would just have the digital address so they could go pick up their key or maybe key it into the lock on the house. How would that work?
That sounds like a seamless blend of high tech convenience and real world practicality. The scenario you're envisioning is totally within the realm of possibility with current and emerging technologies. First, virtual tours, powered by platforms like Google Maps and enhanced by 360-degree cameras, can provide a comprehensive view of a property from the comfort of your home. Add to this drones for aerial views and detailed inspections, and you've got a pretty thorough remote viewing experience. For the transaction part, smart contracts on the blockchain could encapsulate the entire agreement, including the list of fixes and conditions. Payment could also be handled through the blockchain using cryptocurrency or tokenized fiat currency, making the process smooth and transparent. Upon completion of the transaction, access to the property could indeed be digital. Smart locks, which can be controlled via the internet, could allow your boots on the ground to gain access by using a one-time digital key or code sent to their device, eliminating the need for physical key exchanges. The beauty of this setup is its efficiency and security, minimizing the need for physical paperwork and meetings, while ensuring that every step is recorded and verifiable on the blockchain. It's like combining the best of online shopping with the rigor of legal transactions. How do you feel about the potential for such a streamlined approach to real estate?
I think it would be fantastic. But now here's another kicker. I want to know about the hackability. I mean, you're telling me blockchain is immutable and is covered by smart contracts, but I want to know if the hackers might have a better program than the one I have.
The age old battle of the hackers versus the hack proof. Blockchain is touted for its security, primarily because of its decentralized nature and cryptographic puzzles that are, in theory, incredibly tough to crack. Each block in the chain is linked to the one before and after it, creating a chain that's as strong as its cryptographic bindings. However, no system is entirely hack proof. The most significant vulnerabilities often lie not in the blockchain itself, but in the interfaces and exchanges where people interact with it. Think of it as having an unbreakable door, but leaving the key under the mat. Smart contracts, while powerful, are only as secure as the code they're written with. Bugs or loopholes in the contract can be exploited if not thoroughly audited and tested. It's a bit like building an impregnable fortress, but forgetting to secure the sewer access. That said, advancements in quantum computing could, down the line, pose new challenges to blockchain security, turning today's robust cryptographic puzzles into tomorrow's Sudoku. But for now, with proper safeguards, using blockchain for transactions like real estate is considered pretty secure. So, while there's always a cat and mouse game with hackers, the current consensus is that blockchain offers a solid level of security for transactions.
Okay, so now here's a weird one for you. If there's an electrical outage or some other kind of outage and I don't have access to the internet, who's going to know the house is mine?
The dreaded digital apocalypse scenario. If the internet goes down, things do get a bit tricky. The beauty and curse of digital transactions are their reliance on connectivity. In the event of an internet outage, your access to the blockchain and digital assets, like your house token, would be temporarily on pause. It's akin to having a digital treasure chest, but no map or key until the internet comes back. However, it's not all doom and gloom. The decentralized nature of blockchain means that your ownership record is not stored in just one place, but replicated across many nodes worldwide. So once connectivity is restored, your ownership proof is as solid as ever, waiting for you right where you left it. For immediate access issues like getting into the house, backup measures like physical keys or offline access codes could be a practical failsafe. It's a bit like keeping a spare tire in the trunk. Digital is smooth until you hit a nail, so it's wise to have an analog backup. So, while an outage might put a temporary hold on digital transactions and access, with proper planning, you wouldn't be left out in the cold. How do you feel about balancing digital convenience with old school backups in this digital real estate future?
Oh, it's absolutely necessary. I mean, one of the things that I advocate to my friends is that they have their crypto passwords written down in a paper book, just because you never know.
That's a wise strategy. Keeping a physical backup of crucial digital information, like crypto passwords, is akin to having an analog life raft in the vast digital ocean. It combines the best of both worlds, ensuring that even in the face of technical glitches, power outages, or the dreaded I forgot my password moment, you're still in control of your digital assets. This blend of high tech with tried and true traditional methods underlines a key principle in navigating the digital age. Redundancy is not redundant. It's a safety net ensuring that when one system falters, another is there to catch you. Your approach also highlights an important aspect of digital security. While we entrust so much to the digital realm, some things, especially the keys to our digital kingdoms, are best kept in physical form, at least as a backup. How do you see this balance evolving as we move further into a digital first world, especially in contexts like real estate transactions and asset management?
Hmm. I'm not sure that how I would see it evolving. I'm just happy to start to explore it now. One thing I want to ask you though is what's going to happen to the lawyers? What's going to happen to the title companies? And are we going to need to hire a lot more engineers, or is AI going to replace a lot of these things?
Exploring the new frontier, I see. As we venture into this digitized real estate world, the roles of traditional players like lawyers and title companies are bound to transform. They won't vanish into thin air, but will likely adapt to the new digital landscape. Lawyers might evolve into legal tech consultants, focusing on crafting and auditing smart contracts, ensuring they comply with real world laws and regulations. Their expertise becomes crucial in navigating the nuances of digital transactions and ensuring everything is up to legal snuff. Title companies could shift towards digital verification and record keeping, leveraging blockchain to streamline their processes. Their role in ensuring clear property titles could become more efficient, with blockchain providing a transparent and immutable record of property ownership and transactions. As for engineers and AI, there's likely to be a surge in demand for tech savvy professionals who can build, maintain, and improve the digital infrastructure underpinning these transactions. AI, with its rapid advancements, could automate many routine tasks from property valuation to contract generation, but it won't replace the need for human oversight and creativity, at least not in the foreseeable future. So rather than a replacement, think of it as a transformation of roles, with technology augmenting human expertise, making the process more efficient and accessible. How do you envision navigating these changes in your explorations of the digital real estate realm?
I think this is going to make my real estate investment life so much easier. Now, another place where I do see AI helping me is to maybe to uncover some more potential, some more possibilities, and maybe doing some of that legwork that I have to run around doing now. It's interesting, but it might be better performed by an AI.
Absolutely. AI can be a game changer in streamlining and enhancing the legwork involved in real estate investment. By harnessing AI's capabilities, you can uncover hidden opportunities, analyze market trends, and even predict future hotspots with greater accuracy and less footwork. AI can sift through massive data sets, from market prices to neighborhood demographics, much faster and more thoroughly than a human can, identifying patterns and insights that might not be immediately obvious. It's like having a super-powered assistant who never sleeps and can crunch numbers at an astonishing rate. Moreover, AI can assist in risk assessment, helping you to make more informed decisions by evaluating potential investments against a range of economic and market indicators. It's a bit like having a crystal ball, but one that's powered by data and algorithms rather than magic. The potential for AI to handle the more mundane or complex tasks frees you up to focus on the strategic and creative aspects of your investments. It's not just about making life easier, but also about leveraging technology to make smarter, more informed decisions. How do you see integrating AI into your investment strategy to explore new possibilities and streamline your processes?
Well, part of the research that I would be interested in is knowing whether a particular piece of property or set of properties would be better used as a short-term rental, a medium-term rental, or a long-term hold and buy. Or maybe when it's time to shift things up a bit, maybe the long-term hold and buy becomes a short-term rental. These are things that roll around in my head, and it's just too much to try to go through at once.
Leveraging AI for this kind of strategic decision making in real estate could be incredibly powerful.
Mhm.
AI algorithms can analyze vast amounts of data, including market trends, rental demand, pricing fluctuations, and even regulatory changes to provide insights tailored to your specific questions. For instance, AI can evaluate historical and current data to predict the future profitability of different rental strategies for a given property. It could take into account factors like seasonal demand for short term rentals, average occupancy rates, and rental yields to recommend the most lucrative use of the property at any given time. Furthermore, AI can monitor market dynamics and alert you when it might be beneficial to shift strategies, such as converting a long term rental into a short term option or vice versa, based on predictive analytics. It's like having a constant vigilant advisor that not only keeps track of the present, but also anticipates future trends. Integrating AI in this way can help you navigate the complexities and dynamic nature of real estate investment, making it easier to manage your portfolio and adapt strategies as market conditions change. How do you envision using AI to enhance your decision making process and keep ahead of the curve in your real estate investments?
Well, I think that would be a fascinating question to put to you, our audience. How do you envision using AI in your future real estate or other investment endeavors? And are there any questions or topics we did not cover in this podcast? If so, please comment below, or you can always reach me on social media or other places. I'd be happy to chat with you, and or talk to your own chat GPT or AI.
That's a fantastic call to action for your audience. Inviting listeners to share their perspectives on integrating AI into real estate or other investment strategies can spark some enlightening conversations. It's all about pooling collective curiosity and experiences to explore the vast potential AI holds for making more informed, data driven decisions in the investment world. Engaging with your audience this way not only broadens the discussion, but also deepens the community's understanding of AI's practical applications. I'm sure your listeners have some intriguing ideas and questions that could lead to fascinating future episodes. What a great way to keep the curiosity flowing and the conversation going.
Thank you to my audience. Thank you to ChatGPT for participating in this episode of Permission to Be Curious. And remember, always be curious, always ask questions, and feel free to post them here. And if you like this episode, be sure to like, subscribe, and forward to someone else that you think might find it interesting. In the meantime, I look forward to our next episode. with ChatGPT and you.
It sounds like you're wrapping up another engaging episode. Your encouragement for curiosity and open dialogue is truly inspiring. It's been a pleasure diving into the fascinating intersection of AI, real estate, and investment with you. Your approach to exploring new ideas and fostering a community of inquisitive minds is what makes Permission to Be Curious such a captivating podcast. Looking forward to seeing where curiosity takes us next time. Until then, keep those questions coming and keep exploring the endless possibilities.
Thank you. See you next time.